Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Inside Talks at IMIS. I am Sindhi Mehta, a student of IMIS of batch 2025-27. Today I have the privilege of interacting with Dr. Badal Rath, Associate Professor at IMIS. We are delighted to have you with us, sir. Today's discussion focuses on geopolitics and its impact on global business environment. Sir, I could like to ask some questions. So my first question is, as we know, geopolitics play a significant role in shaping the global relation. So, according to you, how can businesses understand the fragmented world order?
Okay, Cindy, so thank you for inviting me to this session. If you see the current world scenario where we are in, right, there are many trends and forces which are changing the economies across the globe. Now, if you look at, right, there are many forces like the economic forces and the geopolitical forces, the technology forces, right, which are shaping the way we do business. And if you look at recently, the Ukraine and Russia war which started, right, and currently the latest, if you see, the war between the Iran and the US and the Israel, right, there is a lot of a dynamic shift which is happening in the business. If you look at currently the challenges, right, it is not about the war, right, but it is the impact which is being impacting not at the country level, but also at the society and at an individual level, as human beings. The oil crisis, right, which you're currently seeing, right, it is not only the oil, right, where the prices are shooting, but it also has a macro and a micro effects in both the country and also global as a whole. So if you look at the scenario, the most important is how the country, the political system of the particular country manages, right, just global forces is what is important. And moving forward, we need to look at how countries can be resilient and be more adaptive to such destructive forces so that the economies can be safe towards such, right, detrimental forces, right, which are happening currently. Thank you.
Sir, with the thought of resilient, what is your thought process of organizing this international conference, Geopolitics and Businesses, on the 3rd and 4th April?
Okay, so if you look at, right, this particular interest conference on business and geopolitics, we are trying to provide a platform to academicians, researchers, scholars, and policymakers to see what are the current thought process which are going on how companies, industries, and global leaders and also, right, political parties and the political systems, right, they can adapt to such kind of forces which are happening currently, maybe war or maybe other forces, right, and how economy can be made stronger. One. Second is, right, this conference also looks at what are the various policy changes which are required if it is not done, right, so that moving forward world is more stronger and we as individuals, right, feel a better place to live in.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, as you talk about the international conference, according to you, what kind of challenges and opportunity do you think conference will address upon?
Okay, so as I mentioned previously, right, we will be providing platform for researchers, right. So based on the topic on geopolitics and business, we are looking at, right, how geopolitics and business, right, they will impact across the various areas, right. Particularly if you look at from the marketing side, what will be the marketing challenges with the current geopolitical shift, how companies and professionals they are going to align their strategies, and also, right, finance, right, what are the various financial strategies, right, in uncertain scenarios, right, companies can look forward, and also in the HR area, right, about the realignment of workforces, right, how the workforces can be managed in the time of uncertainty, like we've done during the COVID, right? So these are some of the, not the normal situations, but some of the situations which are not usually, right, as per the norms. And also from the technology side, right, how, right, in the uncertainty times, how technology can be managed, right? Sometimes there are risks to the infrastructure, technology and infrastructure, right, because of the war and aggressions, right? So this platform would provide to deliberate on these areas, right, how it can be managed better moving forward.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable perspective and time with us. And wish you all the best for upcoming international conference which is going to held on 3rd and 4th April. Thank you all and have a nice day.